Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. This is Manoj Dara. So in today's interaction, we will discuss about Polygon, which has firmly established itself as the most promising Ethereum scalable projects due to its highly capable development team that cracked few blockbuster deals with Coca-Cola, Instagram, and Mercedes-Benz, which has identifiably brought Polygon into limelight in the recent days. Let me introduce you Mr. Ravikant Agrwal, Vice President Strategy at Polygon. Ravi sir, welcome on 3.0 TV.
Thank you for having me.
So, sir, since we are discussing about Polygon and its way forward, can you just begin with, there are a lot of announcements that have come in last one and a half month. Market is actually reacting southwards and there are a lot of concerns in the cryptocurrency market, but there is something which is going on in Polygon which is attracting a lot of eyeballs. So if you can just begin with.
Sure. I think, primarily we have been considering where to be a market for builders. And that's where we are considering, for a very healthy roadmap that we have for the next few quarters with a brilliant team. I think we are going to be, bringing in very, very interesting product and the upliftment of the existing product out into the market. We are expecting that with this kind of solutions that are going to be catering to large set of requirements and, various projects have different requirements, we would be able to bring in more adoption, more project onto Polygon ecosystem. So keep watching.
So, all right. So since we are talking about more projects and more adoption, we will discuss all this in detail. But how is Polygon adopting to the upcoming Metaverse trends? What is the thought process as a network? And what is the way forward as far as this rising Metaverse trend is concerned?
Yep. At Polygon, we are experiencing a lot of interest in terms of, where Metaverse is going all around. There are premium virtual worlds such as Decentraland, Sandbox, Somnium Space, Project Origin, etc., which have considered Polygon to be a choice of their platform. Largest IP holder in the world are deploying new and innovative experiences on Polygon across culturally all important verticals, such as entertainment, retail brands, financial services, and many more. We continuously are putting efforts in terms of uplifting 3-4 areas. One of them is the developer first approach. Polygon have several solutions right from the POS to SuperNets, now the ZK EVM, which has been announced very recently. So across all the solutions which are EVM compatible, we have established tech stack and tooling solutions, and they are all with the Solidity language. So the developer experience has been very, very smooth. This is also at the very low cost and high throughput. So that improves the developer experience overall. At the same time, composability of a network makes it very easy for anybody to come and, start getting their dApp out, especially in the metaverses where we are talking about some of the, composability aspect, whether it is integration with the liquid stable coins like USDC and USDT, which again, a few weeks back, we have made the announcement. Plus the huge NFT ecosystem that we have built over a period of time and one of the largest gaming community that certainly helps the metaverse space overall. And last but not the least is the increasing user base. So if you are looking at some of the stats, we got 800,000 plus weekly active users that has been consistently there for last many, many weeks, even in the down market turn. So I think overall this sentiments and the ecosystem that we had at Polygon is helping many metaverse projects to come and start building those experiences for future.
Fantastic. Since you have mentioned that there are a lot of projects that are actually coming as far as the network is concerned, what is the way forward as far as the Web3 is concerned, sir? What is your network trying to achieve? And there is a huge opportunity as far as this growing Web3 area is concerned. So how well is this is Polygon Network is placed to take advantage of this big opportunity?
100%. And I think, I might take a long stab at it, but I wanted to give your user a view in terms of how Polygon is looking in terms of the future roadmap. So, first of all, we got a very healthy ecosystem where more than 29,000 applications have been deployed along with the top brands, which have chosen Polygon as their tech stack for Web3 journey. Let me start with the most adopted chain, which is Polygon POS. Now, with Polygon POS, we have seen that we have got a huge adoption as well as the composability of the network. we are continuously strengthening the composability and the network effect. Also, we are providing a very secure network to several global brands, such as Coca-Cola, which is something that you may have seen in the last few days, NFL, Mercedes-Benz, which is again a very interesting use case in terms of a decentralized data marketplace. Then we got few announcements in the last few weeks, including Macy's, Dolce Gabbana, Bentley Motors, and some of the bigger ones also include Disney Accelerator Program. Very interesting engagement, and Polygon has been the only Web3 platform that has been selected by Disney Accelerator Program for their innovation in the Web3 space. Reddit, DraftKings, Instagram and Meta, Stripe for global payments, Robinhood, and in the mobile space, Nothing and HTC. So I think there are different verticals and different areas where current POS has been identified as a solution of their choice, along with some of the other Polygon solutions as well. Let me take a stab and give users a little more idea about what different Polygon tech stacks are out there, which can be leveraged for different types of use cases. I jump to the next one, which is Polygon ZK EVM.
Yeah,
I'm sure many of us must have heard about that announcement that happened in ETHCC in Paris.
So it's something to do with the rollups and.
Yes. I think that's going to be changing up, the face of Web3 to a large degree, especially with Polygon ZK EVM rollup that we have, which is the EVM equivalent rollup. That's where all these smart contracts, all the tooling would be very similar to what users are doing in Ethereum today. So the user experience is again very, very simplified. At the same time, we would be able to provide much higher throughput at a very, very, very economical transaction cost. Vitalik, if you have seen his recent blog, he has classified Polygon ZK EVM to be one of the most advanced solution in type 2 ZK EVM category. I mean, he has mentioned that this is the front runner, which can come into the type 2 at the moment, though it has been classified into type 3. So the development is going in full swing for ZK EVM, and in the next few months, we would be able to see what kind of solutions can start migrating and start building onto ZK EVM, which is, we are very, very excited about. The next one that I would talk is a little more different in the dimensions and the type of use cases that can be built, which is Polygon Supernets. Now, Polygon Supernets is more of a sovereign chain where, a permission kind of a use case can be built, especially by the large institutions, enterprises, or governments. This is a package solution where all the required tooling and partner can be combined, and it makes it easy for the projects to just focus on building up their solution and then not have to worry about building something for Explorer, on-ramp, off-ramp, bridges, and many other tooling that is required.
Fantastic.
The latest performance report says that it is easily 1500 TPS or addition, and at the same time there is a very huge pipeline that we are seeing where many projects have come forward where they wanted to establish their own sovereign chain and looking forward to Supernet as an example. So this is a very different category of solution that is sitting in Polygon suite. Another important one is Polygon ID. And I'm sure, again, this is of area of interest for many projects, and we are seeing huge inbounds in terms of social media, Web2 and Web3 specific projects looking out for adding that identity layer on top of their applications. The first solution that went out for a DAO project a few weeks back has been one of the live implementation. So some of the key features in terms of on-chain verification, user privacy with ZK proofs are, some of the key highlights that goes out with Polygon IDs. And there is going to be a major release that would be coming out in a few weeks where, again, it would become far more usable for many projects to start integrating Polygon ID into their solution. So I think apart from this, there are a couple more solutions in the form of Polygon Nightfall, Polygon Avail, which are, again, at different development stage and would be bringing in a lot of opportunities for Web3 project to start leveraging these solutions.
Fantastic. I mean, you have given a Shankar Mahadevan performance as far a breathless performance, I must admit to you, because
there are so many solutions.
There are a lot of projects which you have mentioned. It is difficult for me to understand about a particular project because of the time constraint. You are also time bound, but you have taken an initiative towards a Terra Luna crash, which had that at that time. As per the news, you have migrated few projects from the Terra to Polygon ecosystem. So can you just give us a brief of what the progress and response on these projects? What is the current situation of those projects? If you can just highlight that, sir.
Sure. Yeah, I think Polygon is providing all sorts of support and resources to the Terra ecosystem developers and their community to come and build on Polygon. There is a dedicated fund also earmarked to help projects that are migrating to Polygon ecosystem. And we have been seeing an amazing response so far. There are more than 50 Terra projects, and large number of coders from the defunct network have begun migrating towards the Polygon ecosystem. Some of the top ones include the Lunaverse, which is the Metaverse platform, the One Planet NFT marketplace, and Derby Star, which is a play-to-earn game. These are some of the big ones, but the list keeps going on. And we are seeing a lot of projects who are considering Polygon to be the choice for migration from Terra ecosystem.
Fantastic. As you have taken a lead in such a tough time for the Terra ecosystem that crashed, but way forward is the Ethereum 2.0, and this is the big game changer as far as the entire crypto market is concerned. So, at a time when there are a lot of optimism and there are a lot of market analysts, market participants, and investors, fund managers, they are hoping that there can be a dominance shift towards the Ethereum community versus the Bitcoin. So, what is the driving force? Why this ETH 2.0 is important? And what do you suggest for developers in this time? And how it is crucial for Polygon? There is another one for you.
Sure. I think ETH 2.0 is a very interesting, landmark from an Ethereum perspective. Whenever it happens, it's going to be improving the efficiency for the Ethereum base layer or the settlement layer, which is going to be beneficial for all the scaling solution as well. So, taking a step back, and for the audience who may not be aware about what ETH 2.0 means, so primarily it is a milestone where Ethereum would, in full capacity, would have 64 shards. And each of this shard would produce the similar type of TPS what Ethereum is doing today. So for example, taking a rough number of 15 TPS that Ethereum does today, if we have 64 shards, that means 64 into 15, which is roughly around 1000 TPS that Ethereum would be able to generate post 2.0. However, the timelines for ETH 2.0 are still not very concrete, and the work is going in full swing at the moment. In terms of providing the scalability, ETH 2.0 certainly makes the underlying base layer or the settlement layer more faster. That in turn help the scaling solutions like Polygon to become more efficient. So, first of all, even though whenever ETH 2.0 achieves the full swing, 1000 TPS still is not going to be sustaining,
exactly,
or rather, satisfying the need of Web3 computation that is out there. If we are talking about bringing 1 billion users, it's simple to calculate that 1 billion users whenever they are coming into the Web3 ecosystem, 1000 TPS is not going to be helping that out, and that's where scaling solutions would have a big role to play. And that's where Vitalik himself has been advocating that scaling solutions on top of Ethereum are going to be the need of an hour, and ZK rollups are especially the end game for scalability. And that's where Polygon is working very hard in terms of providing different scaling solutions. And we believe that for the large growth that we are seeing across DeFi, Web3 gaming, NFT adoptions, and especially when the large enterprises have started seeing and started their Web3 journey, I think this kind of throughput is not going to be helpful. And that's where layer ones are going to be mainly for settlement, but the execution would actually happen on the scaling solution.
Fantastic.
And that's where we would be able to bring more computation power from Web3 space and have Ethereum as the settlement layer.
You explained it fantastically that how post 2.0, ETH 2.0, what will be the relevance and importance of the network. But a way forward, why would they prefer Polygon over ETH 2.0? Ravi, if you can just explain this for our viewers, all those investors, viewers, fund managers who are watching this interaction, if you can just simplify this process for them.
Sure. So I think, even though, as I was saying, even though we are able to achieve 1000 TPS, and whenever that happens for Ethereum, between now and that particular point, and even beyond that, the continuous growth in demand for Web3 computation is growing exponentially. And that's where the scaling solutions would be able to take out the execution part.
Fantastic.
And we would be able to provide that execution on the scaling solution like Polygon. The execution result would be now anchored onto Ethereum. So if Ethereum is becoming faster, we would be able to anchor that at a very efficient cost rate. And that's where the security of Ethereum can be leveraged. But then if we are able to execute those transactions on a scaling solution, that would make the overall execution much more faster and also make it very cost economical. So that's where no business would like to spend extra amount on gas fees, and at the same time they would like to have the finality like the experience of Web 2, and that's where Polygon comes in play.
Fantastic. You explained it really well, Ravi. But you spoke about Metaverse, you spoke about Web 3, and you just mentioned about something which is going to happen as far as the NFTs are concerned. So Ethereum is the largest player as far as the NFTs from long time. There was something which is happening between Solana and Ethereum, and why your network is not taking a lead as far as the NFT is concerned, and if yes, you are working towards it, what are the projects that your network is undergoing to achieve this NFT boom?
I mean, I couldn't get your question very clearly, but I think if we talk about some of the recent project and few of the projects that I mentioned, which are certainly taking advantage in terms of bringing NFT to life and in making the user engagement or the customer engagement very interesting for their set of respective industry. For example, brands like Coca-Cola, Macy's, NFL, Dolce & Gabbana, Bentley Motors. I think what they are trying to do is they are leveraging NFTs in terms of bringing different types of innovations and user engagement. And these are all happening on Polygon. Primarily, when we are talking about NFT, which has high valuation, there are many users or projects who wanted to keep it onto Ethereum. But otherwise, when we are talking about making it at a scalable model where the user engagement has to be smooth, the cost, the gas fee has to be drastically lower, and at the same time, they should be able to trade, exchange without a fear of a gas fee. That's where most of those transactions would happen and are happening on Polygon. So, I mean, if you are asking in terms of where is the NFT market going on, I believe there are already so many big implementations that has been announced, and they are working at different maturity level on Polygon, and we are seeing many more to come.
Fantastic. As you have rightly said that there are a lot of announcements and projects which your network has announced as far as the NFT market is concerned. So, what is the way forward, Ravi? As far as you have a lot of projects, lot of things to work on. What is the expectations from the market, and where do you see the next phase of growth going to come from?
Sure. I think, this is a very interesting one. And what we are seeing is there is also a fear in the market at the moment where a lot of people have, been feeling the heat in terms of the bearish nature of the market at the moment. However, we feel that, bear is for builders. And, we should take an opportunity of this to put our head down and start focusing in terms of creating those innovative solutions. And Polygon is, supporting all sorts of innovations. We are seeing a lot of interest and innovations coming in the area of Web3 gaming, social media. NFTs are obvious one, but even a lot of infrastructure project and tooling projects are also coming to life. So we are seeing a lot of interesting area, and there are a lot of innovative builders who are coming out and building things, even though the market sentiments have been a little bearish. What we feel is there are few things that builders should continue to focus on. One thing is creating value. So they should be focusing in terms of solving some real world problems and build something with intrinsic value.
Right.
They should also reduce the complexity. I think Web3 has been known for very difficult user experience. So I think simplifying the user experience and making the technology invisible, even reducing the entry barrier for the user so that they can start playing around with those dApps that are built on Web3. I think that's going to be a crucial thing for builders. Third, but not the least, is ensure stickiness. So once you create a solution, continue to engage with the community and the users so that there is a repetition in terms of the interactions that they do with the application. So I think just my 2 cents in terms of sharing some ideas of what builders should be doing in this kind of a market condition, which is creating valuable product, reducing the complexity, and ensure that they have a stickiness from the users as well as from their community. And I think there are various tools that Polygon have, which the developers and the innovators should be leveraging, something like Polygon Village, which is actually a full stack ecosystem for developers to build and scale their products and take best use of the vouchers, the discounts, the kind of mentorship that they can get it from Polygon, and obviously the large community.
Fantastic. As you have rightly said that there are a lot of positive things. What is the thing that can? I mean, Ravi, there is something which is going on in the overall cryptocurrency market. As a big network player, how do you see this current situation in this market, and what are the few points, elements, or maybe if you can just highlight that can derail the big expectations in the market?
So I think, are you referring to the possible?
I'm talking about the overall cryptocurrency market as a whole. How do you see? What's your reaction on that?
I mean, I see, this to be or rather, I would classify this into two dimensions. One thing, certainly, it clears out a lot of projects which don't have a viable use case, and they are just building it like a Me Too application. So I believe this would clear out, or otherwise let the builders think once again, what is the value add that they are building, and make those use case more economically viable, and come back and now engage the community. So I think one aspect is, first of all, ensuring that you go on back onto the whiteboard and bring something which is more tangible instead of a Me Too application. Second thing is, the innovation hasn't stopped. I feel that this is a very different era compared to what we have seen in 2018. There are a lot of foundation layer that has already been built in. So somebody who wanted to launch a Web3 application, the situation is far more different than what we have seen in the previous downturn. And even though, somebody may be struggling in terms of attracting good eyeballs for their project, but I think they can leverage a lot of building blocks that are existing.
Fantastic.
And if the solution is viable, I think they can still attract the community and make a success story out of this particular downtime.
All right. One last thing before we let you go. What is your advice for our viewers who are actually looking to get some good projects on, in the cryptocurrency market? What is your advice? What they should do? Maybe the market is right for an opportunity, or pick some good projects. What is your advice for them?
Yeah, I would say that this is a time where we have to cut down onto the noise, right? We don't have to really just focus in terms of marketing and branding, but rather start building things. So something that I was mentioning, a few minutes back, builders should create values. They should identify a use case which is really meaningful into the ecosystem, and then try to bring in that economic sense or economic viability into their use case, which bring in the stickiness or the flywheel that is required for a project to succeed. And the user experience has to be simplified in order to be classifying them from the other set of tabs. I think if the project is able to successfully work around some of these dimensions, I'm sure that the bear market condition will not impact them to a large degree.
Fantastic. That's all in this interaction, Ravi. You spoke really well about the projects, the way forward, and what are the hiccups and in the road ahead. You also spoke really well about the metaverse. What is the future? Web3 you have just identified as a big opportunity, and a lot of projects you are working on the NFT space as well. Thank you so much, Ravi, for talking to 3.0 TV. It was a pleasure having you with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's all there is in today's special interaction on Crypto Masters about Polygon. Stay tuned on 3.0 TV to watch more interesting interviews. Thank you.